Beyond.
Beyond.
Yeah,
I was waiting for
Greg
it.
had a grin on his face. I'm waiting for that to come out of there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 84.
84.
Back in the office. Everybody's here. Greg, you're back.
Yep.
Greg Miller.
I was gone for a while.
Yes.
Found out that on an airplane ride, Podcast Beyond is so
Yep.
nice to sleep to.
Ooh.
I started
I don't know
listening
if that's good or
on
bad.
the way up to
Yeah.
Seattle, and I woke up in the middle of 3 red lights. I didn't even make it to reader mail.
Well, there
Mail
you go.
call?
Call?
Jeff Haynes, what is happening?
Not anything at all. With the exception of the NCAA March Madness.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
That's
And
something.
Clements, how's it
Yeah.
going?
Hey, how's it going?
Haircut.
That's my question to you.
Oh, I'm doing very
Ryan
well.
has, Ryan has a
Mohawk?
haircut.
I'm doing well.
You got a haircut.
Yes, I
What
did.
do you- how did you-
Here, come over here. I'll Twitter a better picture of your haircut.
Tweet him.
Hold
Here,
on.
take off the headset.
All right, taking off.
Okay.
Tweet snap.
Now, while this photo is taking place, I'll tell you that when Ryan went to get his haircut last night, he took a picture of Sev from
Okay,
Killzone
it's
2
good.
and said,
And just
"This
said,
is what
that's
I
what I
want."
want.
Yeah, so Ryan basically does look
I
like
have the Sev cut.
Yeah.
Yep. So think Sev, except I'm much less muscular and
Yeah.
bulky.
Yeah, so there you go.
And my
Which means
hair
that
is
at some
You're
lighter.
point-
taller, I think, too.
At some point, we're going to have to, like,
I'm taller than him
bleep
as well.
him because he's just
Yeah.
going to be cursing like a sailor.
Sev
And,
probably curses the least out of all of those
That's
four
true.
guys, though.
There we go. And Sam Bishop is in the house.
Ted Bishop.
Sam is so very far away.
He's almost in the Phantom Zone.
You guys might remember a few episodes ago we were talking about how our system broke down and our mixer was dead, and it's back online. Everything's cool now, except we only have 4 microphones instead of 5.
Yep.
Sam, being the 5th guy here, is without one right now, but Ryan has offered to share his germs, and the two of
Yes.
them are going to trade mics
They're going to get very
as
close.
needed during the show.
Sam,
so there
if
we
we
go.
made out, you could hear each sound perfectly.
That's absolutely terrible.
Oh.
It's not terrible.
Holy,
It's just a bromance. What?
oh God! Never say that again. Let's.
I'm just being straight with everybody.
Yeah, let's get right into some news with Rope Report.
Time for some news.
Alrighty then. So, not a whole lot of news this week, but some interesting stuff. Number one is that a new company, Gazillion Entertainment,
Like the sound of this?
What?
yes, has signed a gazillion-year deal
What?
with
What?
Marvel,
Yes?
and they're going to create a Marvel Universe MMO.
I'll believe that when I see it.
So now we
in a
got-
gazillion years.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously they're going to be
He'll
late to the
be
party
dead.
because DC Universe will be out way before then.
Yeah. Holy
Hopefully.
cross.
Wasn't this
Yeah,
one of
Knock on
those?
wood.
Wasn't this one of those things that were supposed to be out like a year or two ago?
Well, yeah, they canceled that one, though. They
Yeah.
heard how awesome DC was going to be, and they're like, we can't compete. We have to stop.
Yeah, so,
Close down. They
Start it
shuttered the
over.
shop.
yeah, so we'll see what happens with that one.
I mean, whatever. It's taken them how long to do DC?
a lot.
Yeah, so now they just announced this, so this will be on PlayStation 4. Don't
Yeah.
even look for it anytime soon.
Yeah, so there you go. And it could just be a PC game.
Battle
No,
of the
we don't
Three
know.
Heroes.
Yeah, we don't know what
That's
it is
why
yet.
are we even talking about it?
PCs
Yeah.
aren't even going to actually be around in 2 years.
Yeah,
So,
we don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
Kind of good news. I like this a lot.
Okay.
Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 was announced. So that
Sweet.
game's coming out sometime in the fall. Very good. I like Ninja Gaiden
Is this,
Sigma 1 a
is
whole
this an
lot.
original one? Or what's the deal here?
So it's the same way that Ninja Gaiden 1 and Slash Black became Sigma, where it has extra stuff in it. You can play as Ian, or however you say your name. Ryan's the...
well,
Ayane.
that's in Sigma
Ayane.
2. I don't think you could play as her in the first one.
no,
could
that's what I'm
you?
saying. In Sigma 2, you can play
Yeah,
as
in Sigma
Ion,
2,
and there's going to be
Ayane.
other stuff that you can do.
Yeah,
But
So
But
what
it-
games is this combining?
it's Ninja Gaiden 2
Okay.
with
Extra
remixed,
stuff.
basically, with
Okay.
extra stuff on there. Yeah.
Remix.
So there you go. So that should be pretty cool.
Gaiden.
But is it like Ninja Blade?
My favorite new game name of the week, there is a new Mobile Suit Gundam game announced.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
The Japanese name for it is Mobile Suit Gundam Battlefield Record UC0081.
yes.
This
Fantastic.
apparently is a straight-up action game. It is 60% complete.
Nice. Just
So,
release it.
60% Gundam.
Download that next 40%.
There you go.
Full of gun damage.
Very interesting news is that there will be apparently unheard of, unreleased music in the Beatles game. This is actually massive news
Thought we talked
because
about it last week.
I don't think that we did.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I
We
think
missed it?
this news came on Friday, I believe.
Oh.
So, but okay, so this is very cool because you'll see there'll be some new stuff in the game. Now, it's not clear from what we read about whether these are brand new, ground up songs with fully done whatever, or if they're kind of extended versions or remixes or different takes on existing songs. In either case, the kind of really cool thing about this is that while it's gonna be cool to play new songs, this when it's coming out will clearly get news play in other circles. You're going to get it obviously in Rolling Stone and Spin and things like that, but you're going to get it, Time will probably mention, all these people will be talking about how the first Beatles music in X number of years that we're going to hear. So that's super cool. It's very good for the industry.
Is there any new Weezer on it?
I don't believe so. Not for you.
Greg's out.
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah, there you go.
Unless there's Taylor
You're
Swift on
drinking
it.
coffee.
Yeah.
Well, and then the last bit of news I'll mention this week is that it has been confirmed that Lego Harry Potter and Lego Indiana Jones 2.
Yes!
Indiana Jones 2.
Thank
Well,
God.
here's the thing. In the back of my
was a
head,
treasure.
I didn't even want to say Lego Indiana Jones 2
Yeah.
because
Well,
it is
it's
based
Crystal
off
Skull,
of
right?
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and
Yeah.
I despise that movie with every ounce of my soul.
They're
So,
going to nuke the fridge with Legos. Jesus.
Yeah, that was the best part of the movie.
yeah, that
I enjoyed the final 15 minutes when I couldn't stop laughing.
Knowledge was their treasure.
Knowledge was their treasure.
But anyway, those. Oh, God.
knowledge.
Why?
God. Anyway,
I'll
those,
be okay, Indy. What? Why did you just grab on it, you
Oh my
idiot?
God! Killer ants.
that part was awesome.
That
but
was
the-
awesome.
That was
though.
nice, but
Yeah.
that's
Anyway.
about it.
Shia LaBeouf somehow outswings a car.
I hate that movie.
I like how he actually became the Monkey King for a brief
Yeah,
period
yeah,
of time and
yeah.
commanded a legion of
Well,
monkeys.
that's how monkeys do work, I've heard, in the wild.
Okay. They just
So-
randomly
Tarzan.
go.
It's Tarzan. It's all over.
There you go. Well, there's the news of the week. Do we have Greg? Why don't you tell us what's coming to stores this week?
Sure, I got the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors. PS3 has Pro Evolution Soccer, PS2 has Pimp My Ride and Trivial Pursuit, PSP has Resistance Retribution, Scrabble, SBK, Superbike World Championship, and Mana Crimini. Sure. Ryan corrected me, but his mic's not on, so we will stick with Mana Crimini.
Phantom Zone.
Phantom Zone.
Stolen his mic.
There's also a couple packs, but they're old games. There's a Prince of Persia pack, 2 games together. There's also a Sonic one, 2 games together.
Wow.
But that's just GameStop, so whatever you want to do with that.
Indeed.
Good. Yeah. Ryan's taking my phone. Everybody's on their iPhones now.
Yep.
You guys
whatever.
and your fancy futuristic phones.
Yeah.
Let's hear. What do we know what's coming out on the PSN this week? I know for one, I'll preemptively say
Do it.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yes. Wheel of Fortune. There's actually a lot of stuff coming out this
Now
week.
that they have, made the NCAA tournament, I can only imagine that there's going to be a University of Missouri wallpaper. Finally.
Possibly.
God, they better get their
I
act
don't think
together.
Ryan knows how to use an iPhone. He's shaking
But,
it and
yeah, no.
tapping at the back of it.
Yeah, I don't think he's figured out this technology. What is this
monkey with a
futuristic thing
computer.
of which you speak? How do you do this? But this week, Call of Duty World at War map pack is coming out today. The Unreal Tournament 3 Titan pack is coming out today. Or like you said, Wheel of Fortune comes out this week. Killzone 2 mini pack for Little Big Planet comes out today.
What?
Yes.
Awesome.
Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty drops down to $9.99 for 1 week starting
pretty
today.
good.
That's
the
better
Red
price
Alert,
for it.
Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 demo hits today. There's going to be new Infamous videos. And for the PSP, Luxor and Platypus come out as downloadable games. And there's going to be new Prinny DLC.
That's a pretty hefty list.
I didn't
is
know
a
that game was
hefty
getting
list.
DLC.
It is.
Wow.
That is a massive lift.
But
Greg,
that is-
Greg,
that
let's
is
look at your release list again here.
I think this is a hands down easy one.
Oh.
Let's
Clement
see.
said Fluency that it already
I can't
got
read the jibble jabble.
Well,
but
what is this
I mean,
jibble jabble?
Resistance.
Resistance Retribution.
Pick of the week.
Pick of the
Easy.
week.
There you go. Oh no, error. Posting message timed out.
Gosh,
Oh,
darn
no.
it.
Oh no.
Jeff, you were just talking to me
I'll
today.
try
You
sending
played
again.
Retribution. Everybody knows I love it. 9-2. What
That-
did you
that
think
is
of it?
do.
That is a fantastic game. That is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Grayson is one of those characters that you just can't help but love playing as.
Damn right. Sam, you beat it, you said?
I did.
What'd
yeah.
you think?
I didn't like it as much as you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought that the last hour of the game made me want to kill somebody.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I
Wow.
like that. Like, I thought that was the only part that was really challenging. I know what you're talking about, like walking up the tubes, and there's like every
Exactly.
enemy in the game, and not a save point there.
Exactly.
I enjoyed that management of like strategy. I'd walk up, oh crap, run back, and like, all right, I'm gonna use this gun, and on this secondary fire, when I do this, I'll do the chain
yeah,
gun.
I mean, eventually I got it, and I figured out that you could you can equip those certain weapons. You got the auger and you have
Yeah,
the chain gun that give you a shield and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, it
You're a wuss.
checkpoints you
I
too
got
at that
it.
point. Oh yeah, it's true. No, it checkpoints you right in the middle of like a quick time event too, which sucks. What's it? What's it? Oh,
Ryan's
no.
pointing at his shirt. This
Yeah.
is what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Read the shirt, it's amazing.
If it's moving, we'll cut it. Yes, it's a Resident Evil 4 shirt.
Have you
Wow.
not seen this?
Way to get caught up.
Yeah.
On shirts he wears to work all the time.
It's great.
I'm glad you don't have a mic for a reason.
It just doesn't work.
I did. You know what I did like though? Oh,
What did you?
Uh,
I thought
it's
that
all over.
everything that Retribution did as far as storyline stuff was exactly what I was looking for in Resistance 2.
Yeah.
Like it had a ton of stuff. It explains a crap ton. I
Yep.
can't say the S word.
No,
Forgot.
you can't. But you did get around it.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's not just Intel stuff, although that helps too, and that's all kind of told from his perspective, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
But just the fact that it goes through all the cutscenes, explaining some of the storyline details, I dug that. It actually explains why stuff happens in Resistance 2.
Yeah.
Why they don't use
I just liked Grayson a lot.
conversion centers and
I
stuff.
thought his story was really cool.
Yeah, he's just a smarmy
Damn midgets.
Racist.
talking.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Well,
I
are
don't
the
think
French a
that could
race?
be a race with like British versus French. That's just a regionalized
He
conflict.
doesn't like, he's a regionalized.
He hates frogs. He's
All right.
anti-amphibian.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good game. Roper and
Yeah.
Ryan
There
are
you go.
lost in their own picture.
Yeah,
I don't know what's
what's
going
going
on
on
Ryan's got
anymore.
I got that
I'm
one.
gonna give him back his headset.
Yeah,
before
it's all
hang on.
falling apart. So, Sean,
This is really funny. Anyway, so
I am actually a comical genius. A lot of people don't realize because
Yeah.
I'm really awkward most of the time, but I have a good
Most of
sense
the
of humor sometimes.
Ooh.
yeah. Anyway, so let's get on with the show. Trophy tips. Tip of the week. I got a good tip.
Let's do it.
If you want to get a platinum in about 8 hours, this is the game pick of the week, I think, is play Ski-Doo Snowmobile Challenge.
Really?
Got
Is it-
100% in that game in 8 hours. The only trophy I don't have, which is easy to get.
Wait, then how do you have 100%?
Well, no, 100% a single player part. The only trophy I'm missing aside from the platinum is an online thing, but nobody's playing it online. So as soon as I can, if somebody
How
has,
easy is it? Is it just win a race online or something?
no, it's like you get 20,000 points. And once
okay.
I tried it one at the very beginning, and that was hard because my snowmobile sucked. But
Yeah.
anyway, well, I'll be able to do it now. So if somebody has Ski-Doo Snowmobile Challenge, let me know. We'll play online.
We
so I
talked
get, so I
a
get a
long
trophy.
time ago of trophy tips for
Do this one
Legends of WrestleMania, but and we said it was very easy. However, it turns out there's 2 trophies that will require a lot of work, so be careful of that.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it in my review next week, but on Tuesday, trophies, Legends of WrestleMania.
There we go.
All right.
indeed.
So there you go. Anybody else have anything cool to say for trophy tips?
Whoa, hold on, Sammy.
Oh, Titan Pack for Unreal Tournament brings with trophies and all that stuff like that. So
Very good.
there's
Yeah,
something there.
and Red Alert
Other-
3 has trophies for just completing the tutorial, completing any
you
of
get-
the
did
missions
you get that from me yet, Sam?
on any difficulty, but there's also one for completing it on medium or hard. And then a lot of the other ones are some of the tasks you wind up doing during multiplayer matches anyway. So I think there's ones for like completing 9 multiplayer matches, completing 18, stuff like that. So it's pretty easy to gain some of these trophies. Some of
Yeah.
the more complicated ones are like specifics with certain units in online matches doing specific things, but otherwise.
There you go. So
you can get a
giant
lot
pain in
of
the ass. All right, let's get on to topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
So if you remember back at the beginning of the year, I made the prediction that Sony was going to drop the price of the PS3 by the end of March. And my assumption that was that it was going to happen during GDC.
Running out of
GDC is next week.
Yeah.
I got my time right now. I was off by a week last week. What the hell was that?
It's Sony
Hello?
calling.
Sony's
The
calling us.
power jiggles on
Sony?
the
Yeah, I
phone,
get you.
so.
Anyway, so I'm still saying the price will drop next week.
Uh-huh.
I think it's going to go to $299. It'd be a great price for the system.
Sony doesn't agree with you.
Sony does not agree with me. They're calling
Or
me a liar.
anybody.
Yep. Or anybody.
New special segment.
So
We should have
Yes.
Sony call in.
We should.
why don't you explain
Call
what
them up.
Sony's saying?
I
And who's
don't. I
saying
just heard about it before this.
Ryan. Yeah.
I don't. People need to
So-
understand. I have not been in the office for a week.
Basically, there was just a lot of different separate stories on a lot of outlets online saying that a lot of the different publishers and developers in the industry are all calling for a price drop of the PS3. Alex Evans from Media Molecule, the Little Big Planet developers, and Peter Moore, they were all saying, oh yeah, obviously the system needs to drop in price if they want to, keep their competitive edge up and stay in the biz. So everybody's saying that. However, Sony keeps saying, oh, this is not the case. There is no plans for a price drop at this time. And so I forgot who was it. Was
I
it?
believe that was Peter Dilley.
Okay, it might have been
I know.
him. I forgot if it's he's who said that exact quote in the story that I read. But yes, the response from Sony was that is not the case. All developers want the PS3 to be free so that their games can sell like hotcakes and there's like an unlimited install
They
base.
would actually prefer for it to be negative value, so you have an incentive to go get one. Like,
So-
here's $500 player games.
That would actually be pretty cool.
be very good.
But
Indeed.
that would not be good for Sony.
Well,
But we still think that was just sort of they didn't want their spoilers to go out, so maybe they will drop the price soon.
Sam's trying to talk. Someone get him a mic.
I got him.
Hope.
Oh man. Oh god.
Do something.
Oh, there we go. All right. There are financial reasons for it too. As soon as there's even like rumors of a price drop, then people tend to hold off just because it would be stupid to buy it ahead of time. So they have to basically say no, we're never doing it, no, blah, 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 until like the second it happens. Once it does it, because they have to keep up sales as much as possible. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that on Monday we would assume, or maybe Tuesday morning. That's when Sony's lounge thing opens.
Ooh,
so actually, speaking of that, on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. I believe, Sony's lounge, Bloggers Lounge at GDC opens. They're gonna have a fair bit of games there. We mentioned this last week, but so there'll be some cool stuff. So expect new previews and stuff like that Tuesday morning, lunchtime-ish.
And just to let you guys know, for anyone who reads the PlayStation blog, Rubenstein said that they are actually having a meet and greet sort of the public will be allowed into the lounge on one particular night. And I forgot what night it was at GDC. I think it was Thursday?
I think it's
Friday?
Thursday night.
So check the PlayStation blog because you guys might even, people who live in the Bay Area might even be able to actually go into the Bloggers Lounge and meet some very cool people.
7 to 9 or
which is
something
very
like that?
cool.
There's some specific time. But
it's really actually a neat idea. I was surprised that they're doing that, but that's very cool of them.
Okay. So I expect my prediction is Sony will drop the price on either Monday or Tuesday morning. But maybe they won't. So here's the thing: I think that we're all in agreement that Sony has to drop the price at some point. The system is too damn expensive in order to stay competitive. And if it happened, it would be fantastic because Sony will hit assumably the $299 mark. That's kind of a magic number. It seems in sales. $199 is better, obviously, but $299 is way better than $399 for a lot of people,
right?
Especially in this economy.
So, and people that don't have Blu-ray and stuff like that yet will be more willing to jump ship. But that would be a huge bolster in sales. I think Sony will have a very good run if that happens, especially over the summer, especially with games like Uncharted 2 and Infamous coming out, and God of War 3. People, God of War is a big one where people are like, now it's finally time to get the system. I know a lot of people here in the office that don't have PS3s are saying Uncharted 2 is the game that when they're like, when that's coming out, I'm going to get it then. If the thing goes down to $299, they're more likely to jump ship earlier or to pick it up earlier than later. That'd be great. But if Sony does not drop the price, what is going to happen? I think it's a disaster.
You think they'll drop at GDC and not E3?
Absolutely.
I think that they kind of, in some ways, have to, just because like some of their hands are basically being forced. I mean, like look at the news piece that we put up earlier today about how like Sony's pretty much freezing their wages because they lost so much money. Now, granted, if you drop the price by like $100, you're going to wind up losing a certain amount of money anyway. But you don't wind up getting the majority of your money on console sales if you make consoles. You get it on the licensing and the software. That's where you wind up recouping most of your losses. And if they keep doing it this way, their systems are just going to sit on shelves and the games are going to sit on shelves because the people that already have the systems are going to buy certain things and they're not going to push out anything else. And so they've got to do something to at least like try to spur some kind of growth, because if they don't, then they're not going to wind up like just recouping anything regardless of the games that wind up coming out.
Right now you drop it and you go, all right, so we've dropped it and Killzone 2 is already on shelves and it's awesome and you should go get it. And in whatever 2 months we have Infamous coming out, and then we're gonna have Uncharted. I mean, it's it's a snowball effect of give them a kick, like why they need to get it right now.
Right, and the thing with it too is like you take that, and if you want to keep like an elevated price, throw in bundles so that it's actually worth justifying what you're paying for, as opposed to just getting the system. Like throw in Killzone, and throw in like Motorstorm, or throw in Killzone and Little Big Planet, or something else to actually justify like going, okay, this is why it's $399 because you're getting 2 games with it. You're getting like this and something else. You're getting that and the wireless keyboard or a headset or something else.
Rope and I were talking
do
about
something to actually make it worth the damn price as it is right now.
Having like a set pool of games that you can pick from, and just going, okay, I want this and this, and like 2 games or 3 games.
As
and
a mail-in or like when I'm at the store?
Well, yeah, we talked about it last week, where like they pretty much like pick and choose, and then they automatically get the voucher.
That's right.
Walk over to GameStop or Best Buy or something, and go, I already paid for it, boom, and walk out with it.
Yeah.
But
they need something.
The production process has gotten a lot more refined. They're down to 45 nanometer now. They're actually making stuff so that if they don't actually launch a new, slimmer version of things, it's at the very least a lot cheaper for them to make the components. So, I mean, that's the next big step, is when they shrink the die size and they actually start combining chips onto one thing, and then they release a new, smaller one that's cheaper and easier for them to make. That's a good thing. Right. But there is one thing that I was thinking about in the shower this morning. No less. That's what I do.
Hello.
I think about PlayStation stuff in the shower. Yeah.
Component and chip size.
There's one really big thing that nobody seems to really talk about, and that's that every single game that's sold on the PlayStation 3 right now is an actual game sold. There's no accounting for what could have been with piracy. There is no piracy. So every single game that's sold, publishers don't have to account for whatever's out there in the wild. If you go, you can go to any torrent site and find 360 games that are out there, and that's going to take a chunk out of some of their stuff. So the numbers that are being reported as far as game sales for other platforms do have to take that into account. There's probably more copies of those games out there, whereas with the PS3, it's the number that you see out there is the actual number of games that are sold. So that's
the
for
boringest
publishers.
shower thought I've ever heard of.
No, but for
He thinks
publishers,
of piracy in the shower.
Well, remember that used game sales plays a part of that too, though.
yes,
So-
absolutely. I'm just saying that baseline number is that's it, which is kind of nice for publishers.
Right.
If they say, okay, well, our game has sold, we know it sold X 100,000 number of copies, then they can project with that pretty easily without thinking, okay, well, this is part of a sequel to another big franchise. It's going to have more attention, therefore, there's going to be more copies out there floating on the internets. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe.
That seems fair. I think that there's just a certain amount at which, it almost feels like their approach is, well, we've got the best value, and we're the ones that are pretty much pushing the tech format because we've got Blu-ray and everything else.
Meh.
But not everybody's going to just automatically leap on that bandwagon and then go, oh yeah, I'll just throw down an extra $100
Well,
for this system.
it's a flawed argument because you figure everything's third party now. So
Yeah.
it's not like they're putting any more into Dead Rising 2 than they are on 360. So why
Right.
do I care about Blu-ray other than being able to watch movies and first party stuff that takes advantage of all that?
Right, and I think that
Or
there's just
Red Alert,
Red Alert.
which is doing everything, bringing it all
yeah,
into one.
but
disc.
I think that part of it is just that for whatever reason, just the marketing decision of going this is all we're going to do. We're not going to take into account what other people are doing or what other people are saying, or even how the economy might be hampering some of our business, and just have this view that this is the only way that we can sell this system and supposedly try to recoup the money that we've lost is a really, really shallow viewpoint to even have within this kind of economy, because it's nobody's going to just throw around money this freely, even though games are much more of an accepted way of entertaining
Richard
yourself,
Branson
because he will, but because the economy is such that you can have a lot more entertainment value from a game. You're not going to start throwing around extra money if you don't happen to have the PS3, if you can get something else that's a lot cheaper.
Yep.
Yeah. So there. So I mean,
Drop the
clearly,
price.
Sony has to drop the price. That's got to be what happens. I mean, at this point, you're getting to where it's a Hail Mary move eventually.
Yeah.
So it's better to go for 20 now instead of 60 later. So.
I just had a vision.
Huh.
You ready for it?
This is gonna be bad. Let's hear it though.
Whatever, fine. Don't hear my vision.
I wanna hear it.
No, Ryan's hurt.
I was picturing that in this deep, dark corner, in this labyrinth underneath Sony headquarters, there's
Jeff's
just a
feelings
single man. What?
Jeff's feelings are in.
It's possible, but there would be
You'll
this
never get my feelings.
single chair with a dude at a desk and a shadow,
Kind of like the
And
architect from The Matrix.
sort
There
of,
you go.
except
There
a
you
much
go.
darker.
Colonel
That was
Sanders.
an all-white room.
This is an
with
all-black room?
This is all black. It's all kind of pulsing with a red light, and the guy's just sitting there with templed fingers, and he's contemplating, and he's actually figured out every single financial move Sony is going to be making for the next 20 years. And all this job freezes, the layoffs, it was all part of this elaborate plan to eventually create this giant influx of sales later on when the PlayStation drops price and starts going up the install base, and amazing games come out, and it's going to be amazing.
You
That's
are the
what I
worst
see.
predictor
Yeah,
and
that's
whatever of
horrible.
all time.
Like the worst strategy Sony could possibly have.
Yeah, we're just going to bet the farm, lose our money, and then at some point.
We're gonna
One
run
day.
third.
Remember,
we're gonna
they
run
have-
third horse in this race.
Remember, they have
forever.
a 10-year plan, dude. It's just beginning.
Yeah,
So
their
is the
10-year plan
PS2.
sucks.
The PS2 makes them so much money, dude.
I know, sadly.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is that they're making so
Yeah,
much
but
money
you know what
off
the
the
difference is?
PS2.
Is that the PS2 was actually priced
huge-
smartly,
and it was a huge
and,
success.
and was marketed well,
Yeah, and
and
it
also
also
built
has
off of
a
the
You won't
success
see
of
this
the
kind of
first
support
It
one.
also has a
PS3 for
solid
10
8 years on the PS3, so just give it
No,
some
but
time.
but what I'm saying is that it was built well, it was marketed well, and it was put out at a price that was acceptable and built on things without them ripping away.
does everyone actually
a lot
think-
of stuff that they already promised? And this one has been totally and utterly screwed up multiple times over, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the system. It has to do with the quality of the decision making by certain people that have just completely hampered the growth of the system.
Do you actually think that I believe there's a guy in a dark room
Yes.
predicting it?
Well, Roper
Jeff seemed to think so.
No, Roper does.
No, I don't think so.
I just think that
I didn't
they've
read
just
that
made
from
really,
Jeff.
really idiotic decisions.
I don't think
and
you'll see the
that's
same
part
kind of 10-year
problem.
support on this as you do on the PS2.
Yeah.
They're going to have to abandon ship way early on PS3 to get out in
to
front
get to
of Xbox.
PS4 and try and recoup something because they're just screwing up with their decision.
I feel like they'll probably try and get PS4 out before the next 360 system, and
I should hope so.
and just like start fresh.
That's actually a question to reader mail, so it's a good segue to some reader mail.
Reader mail.
Readers have questions, and you've got mail.
No pigeons.
Now you're all right, so it's actually
Oh God, Solis is attacking Sam.
Solis is attacking Sam.
Oh god.
So our first piece of mail that I actually have at the top of the list is exactly the question I just mentioned.
Okay.
HB Guy 311 says, when do you think the next console will appear, and what company will be the first to the market? His bet's on Microsoft.
See, it's a tough question because I could see Microsoft doing it because obviously the 360
It worked for them again.
Yeah, exactly. It worked so well last time.
Yeah.
360's had so much problems. It's got a install base. They've got a fan base now. You know what I mean? So, but then on the same thing, you could see PS3 doing it because obviously it's had so many troubles. On the same thing, maybe Sony holds off because they're trying to build PS3 and they know it's a superior machine, hardware. It can go further.
I think you might be right with Microsoft only because as people are starting to do more multi-console stuff and they're starting to hit that upper limit of 360 and what it can do hardware-wise, they're probably getting to the point where they're going to Microsoft and going, look, we're reproducing some of this stuff on the PS3 and we're having problems here because the 360 just can't do some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I was at an event, I was talking to some of the designers and they're like, we're maxing out what the 360 can do here. Like the PS3, we're fine with it. It's not a problem, but we're also porting over stuff from that one, so some of the elements aren't going to look as good or run as good, but the 360 is starting to max out.
Yeah, but that's going to happen with any console ever released, though. Here's my thing: is I agree with this. I think it's going to be Microsoft. Sony has never been first to market with any of the systems, and I think Microsoft is just going to be, like you said, Greg, riding the thing where they're like, "Hey, first worked last time, let's do it again."
Yeah.
And Nintendo doesn't care. Nintendo's release cycles are whatever the hell they choose to do, especially now that the Wii is making $1 trillion and they're not directly competing, really.
I hate how they just don't care about anything. Like they think they're the kings of the world.
Yeah, let them do their own thing. Whatever.
It just annoys me. It's that like pompous attitude. I don't like it.
I don't think they're being that pompous about it, though. I think Sony
it
was
could be
pompous
worse.
about it.
Yeah, no. I think Greg's right. I mean, they're like, we're not competing with you, and you're not our market. Our market are these people.
Didn't they say a while ago they were being jerks about like, what recession? We're doing fine. Blah, 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 blah. But I mean, like other than that, outside of that,
yeah, they've got a completely
machines
different market, and they're not even like trying to compete for the same people.
I'm just saying that it's just they do think very highly of themselves.
You don't have a headset for a reason.
I prefer a little more humble stance.
There you go. Moving on, 2779 says, can you explain to me why games have to be $60? Could Wheelman want to be released for less, or is it a mandate from the console makers?
And that's all. I'll leave it at that. You can wait for the review next week.
Yeah.
I'll leave that one to Greg.
Games are $60 because that's what everybody started to release them as.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of tries to stay in parity because it gives them the most money while people are accepting of it because it's what everything costs. Now, the interesting thing is that I think we might have mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but Valve did those crazy sales on their stuff on Steam, saw like 6,000% increases in sales. They're, even though the game is a quarter of the cost, the sales are 60 times or whatever. So, clearly they're making a lot more money that weekend than anything else. So the question is, do games need to be $60? If they were half the price, would you have more than twice as amount of people buy it? We don't know.
Yeah, they're sometimes using it to try and justify their development costs for however many people that they're putting on a project, and then however long it takes to actually make the project go out.
I mean, I think it's one of those things that does it even matter at this point? Like Matt Hazard was $49.99. I mean, it was but still. I reviewed that game. Yeah, it wasn't worth $49.99. So,
Yeah.
What do you take away from that? I don't know. 50 versus 60. It's still.
Companies are going to want to try and recoup whatever they spent on developing.
When it drops something like $20, like a Patapon, or then it's like it seems like a huge drop. You're like, oh man, it's completely different. Whereas like $10, whatever.
Let's play a game. Let's play how many times Jeff says recoup for the remainder of this episode.
All right.
Because you have said it about 400 times already.
I don't think
little fact.
I seriously
go back and
doubt
listen.
Rob Van Fan writes in. He says,
Maybe not 400.
He knows that Greg loves Infamous so far.
That's me.
But with the
Big
latest
preview tomorrow.
But with the latest build that we've played, is it polished like a top PS3 exclusive, or is it still in need of many months of polishing?
All they are doing right now is polishing. Like I was just up there this week. I'll have a giant preview up on tomorrow, Friday, and all they are doing is polishing. Like that, they know what they're doing. They've had a pretty well thought out strategy on how they're going to put that game out. So, in terms of open worldness, it's very polished from what I've seen, and I was very impressed.
There you go. Greg is very happy about the game.
Greg loves
VRank92 says, last week we mentioned our views on Gran Turismo not getting damaged. That reminded me the latest word that he's seen of the infamous damage patch for Prologue was due out in February. It's now March. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Have we heard anything? So Polyphony works in very mysterious ways in that the studio tends to, especially with releases like Prologue and downloads and stuff like that, these are all kind of counted internally from what it seems like as tests and experiments and stuff. So it seems like they were like, well, we will release it as a patch, and then maybe they're like, well, it requires a little bit more work. We're just going to keep that for Gran Turismo 5 proper. They were going to release Gran Turismo 4 online. That that held over till 5 Prologue. That's online. So same sort of thing. Like Polyphony tends to announce a feature and then put it in the next game. So. I don't know. So there we go.
Interesting strategy.
Yeah.
Let's see how that works out for them.
50 million unit shipped or something?
It works pretty
it's working
well.
all right.
If they can build their own
I was
concept
quoting
cars.
Dodgeball. Come on, people.
That's
See?
fine. I'm just saying.
This is what I'm saying.
are you
Sean,
saying?
I'm saying my sense of humor isn't understood.
Oh,
in
you're
this
lost.
office.
It's all lost on us.
Yeah, it's
All right.
lost.
well, after your prediction of a guy sitting in a black room making predictions for the next 20 years.
That's a hysterical image, dude, because it's so preposterous. That's why it's funny. And yet everybody's like, Ryan, you're stupid.
I didn't say that.
No, that's true. You
Thank
didn't.
you.
There you
You
go.
didn't.
I
was
didn't say
talking.
you're stupid.
Ryan and
I just said that you believed
our
it.
relationship's been strained lately.
You keep saying that, but
I
I,
know,
think
I
that's
get
all in
really
your head.
annoys
Do you need to have the Beyond Therapy session?
No, we're
Yeah, sure.
sure?
Oh, no? All right.
Sean 9986
I think
says,
Hug it out.
I think that gives you your answer.
he says, going back to Retribution for a second, he says he's never played Resistance 2. All the hate on the boards, he chose to wait on the game until price drop. I think the game's good. I think you should play it.
No.
But with the price drop, it's fine.
Play Killzone.
Yeah, well, and with that in mind, he wants to get Retribution. The Resistance Retribution is the question is that since the game takes place between Resistance 1 and 2, are there any potential spoilers to events that are happening in 2?
No, I mean it's just more justification of what's happening in 2.
So there you go. Yeah.
Well, I guess it reveals that Nathan Hale's a robot,
Yeah.
and he was constructed by James
From
Grayson.
Krypton.
That's
Yeah.
true. He is a chimera and beep bop beep borp.
Yeah.
Beep bop
I'm
borp.
shocked. So did you like the game, just not as much as I like it?
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I think
Okay.
it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, like mid-8s for me.
This
So it's not like a
this
very,
has
very.
soured me for this show.
Oh no!
Damn.
Don't feel bad. No. It's just yeah.
You're the one that put him in the deep dark pit.
I did. He's gone to a bad
I know.
place. Look at those guns.
Everybody thinks it's fat, but I got a muscle on my arm. Ryan's been
Just
groped by
one,
by the way.
Ryan's groping Greg right now.
There you go. Demiurgic Soul, I believe I pronounced that right, says,
I liked
any
it.
chance we might see a Game of the Year edition for either Gran Turismo 4, or sorry, Grand Theft Auto 4 or Fallout that will include the downloadable content from the 360 version on the disc?
The chances of a Fallout in whatever Game of the Year or
Yeah.
whatever not happening are completely insane. Like it's gonna happen. It's just the way
it's extremely
Bethesda
likely,
works.
especially at the end of this year.
Yep.
I would say
I think it's a holiday release stuff.
Yeah, you see holiday releases start coming in. Bam, you see Fallout 3 again. Game of the Year edition has all the content, maybe some extra
Then it's
stuff.
not downloadable, so
maybe,
it doesn't really
maybe,
matter.
maybe some dog armor. So that'd be cool.
Yes. Dog meat, dog armor.
With GTA 4, I don't know. That's an interesting question. That I don't believe has been done before by them. I mean, they've released like the like the triple pack or
They do
whatever on
collection.
Xbox,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Although Rockstar has done some pretty cool stuff in the past, where like they released the Greatest Hits edition of Midnight Club 3 and included a bunch of extra content in that. So it's not unheard of. Although I don't know where that deal extends with Microsoft, though. I'm thinking that it has to stay put.
And the landscape for Take-Two as a company right now is a little bit different from when they were back in the PS2 days. So it's if they need to prop up some more sales with it'll sell. I mean, if they put another version out there, it'll sell. So
Yeah. Chris writes in and he says, you may have already been asked this question, but he's wondering if we were going to do a GDC podcast similar to last year. Yes, we are.
Yeah. We're gonna do Greg's GDC diary of some kind.
Yeah.
Bjorn?
Yeah, so we'll have that going on. It remains to be seen whether that will be included in a standard recording, but I would imagine, given our schedule, that's probably going to be the whole thing.
Yeah, it'll be. I guess we'll shoot for Thursday. I mean, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I think last year we put it up on Friday, but this year you'll just miss a day.
Yeah,
I mean, what's going to happen, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, the posting schedule for next week will depend on what sessions is going on, and what we have to talk about, and all that kind of stuff. But it'll be up at the end of the week, maybe Friday. But it'll
There'll
up
be
there.
a Beyond.
Should be pretty cool. Yeah.
Beyond.
Pat writes in. He says, "How will Nvidia's physics announcement affect the future of the PS3?" So basically, you can, if you're programming for the PS or the PC now, you can use a graphics card to run physics, so their physics stuff or whatever, basically kind of like Havoc. But so you can run it on GeForce card. Now they said they've licensed it for PS3 usage, so people can use the what the hell's the name of the processor in there?
Cell?
Not the Cell.
The Ghostbuster.
The Ghostbuster. Anyway, to accelerate physics
RSX.
stuff. RSX, that's
RSX,
it.
yeah.
To accelerate physics stuff.
Which is weird because that's been part of the PS3 almost since day one.
Yeah.
So AG's always been on board. It's just weird that, I guess they're owned by Nvidia.
Nvidia owns AJ. So so it's kind of weird. How it will affect the future is that I think first-party stuff will take advantage of it, maybe, but cross-platform stuff, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to make a huge deal out of it because they're going to be creating for the lowest common denominator, which at this point in most circles is the 360.
360, yeah.
So
I mean, and not only that, but ports from the PC to the PS3 are quite a bit more difficult than from PC to
the other way around.
360, and it's still primarily a PC kind of thing. I mean, back when it first came out, it was a hardware card that you needed just to use it. So
yeah. Moving on, does anybody have any more mail to mention in this thing?
Well, I grabbed this off your mail sheet here.
Yeah.
And I know you like to pick and choose questions, which is cool. But I grabbed it because I saw this girl's head for 2779's icon. But then I saw a question here that I will answer real quick. Do Wheelman and Wanted have trophies? Yes, they do.
Yeah.
There you go.
There it is.
I'm done. That was all I wanted to answer.
Great.
Ooh,
and
very
that
nice.
head did not live up to what I thought it was going to be.
You're saying that head
It's
didn't
poorly
live
cropped.
up to it?
It's a
Yeah.
poorly cropped picture.
She looked cuter from here.
Yeah.
Could be hotter.
Bad.
In the words of
It's
Jack
all
DeVries.
Brian.
It's all pixelized and everything.
Sure.
I mean, it's
Jack.
low quality printing.
I love Jack.
Anyway, we got a hit of the week request, and I think this one's actually a good one because this is a challenge, basically, to take them on. A guy named Matt writes in. He says he's been named one of the best racers in Midnight Club Los Angeles by his peers online, and he would like to issue a challenge to any and everybody, including us.
Whoa!
So
I don't play that game, though.
Yeah.
Here we go. Excuses.
But with GDC up around the corner, the chance that we're going to be able to play is pretty much nil. Also, I'm reviewing other games and we'll get slaughtered in Midnight Club at this point because I haven't been playing it. But,
Excuses.
yeah, that is an excuse.
No,
anyway,
that's true. We all suck at multiplayer games.
but but if you want to challenge Matt at Midnight Club Los Angeles, go on there, take him down. His PSN ID is dubbed out Benz09.
Yowzers.
So DUBBEDOUTBENZ09, all one word, no spaces.
PSN it confirmed. It's so confirmed.
Right now, I picture Ryan in a dark room with the red light flashing, his hands pyramided.
There you go.
I do that on Saturdays.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Let's do a quick around the room. What's everybody playing?
Around the room.
Greg, what are you playing?
I'm playing Wheelman, Legends of WrestleMania, sometimes Patapon.
So we'll see those next week.
Not Patapon, but yeah, you'll see. You'll see Dark Sector tomorrow on PC if you're caring about that one. You'll see Infamous preview tomorrow. You'll see the phone early next week. Reviews for Legends WrestleMania and Wheelman.
Very good. Ryan?
Hello. I know. I'm playing. I'm playing Ultimate Ninja 4.
There you go.
Naruto Shippuden. Naruto.
Sam, what have you been playing? Let's get a little mic
Phantom
over there.
Zone.
Welcome to the Phantom
You
there we go. Comic
just
Crash.
reviewed Red Baron,
Oh,
which was not so
man.
good.
That game, don't. Oh God, don't just. Can we just delete that whole title from the podcast? So just beep it out like it's a cuss word or something.
No.
Horrible, terrible game.
It's a service to our readers to know what kind of terrible trash is on
That's
the
true.
PSN.
If anyone actually remembers the original Red Baron stuff, the dynamic stuff,
Which
that
was
came out,
awesome.
amazingly good, really
Yeah.
good flight games. All those Aces Over games. This just takes a giant crap on all that stuff. It's terrible.
I was trying to explain to Ryan that I had played that like 2 years ago. He's like, "No, it just came out on PS." I'm like, "No, dude.
No.
Who put it out?" He's like, "Sierra." I'm like, "Yeah, I played that 2 years ago."
No, that game is not good, so don't play that. But Comic Crash, which is yet another tower defense game that actually plays a little bit differently from all the other stuff out there in that you can attack as well. Well, actually, you have to. That's a lot of fun. it's really hard, and I'm totally OCD about that stuff. So I have to get perfects on all those. I can't let anything sneak in. So it's kicking my ass. But really, really different.
And that's coming out in a couple weeks.
That is coming out on I think on the 2nd.
Yeah.
April 2nd. So
there you go. Jeff, what are you playing?
Red Alert 3.
There you go.
And actually, just as a quick break, I'm also playing Uprising 2, just to tell the differences between PC and PS3 control scheme.
Very good.
And they are rather sizable.
We will hear about that very soon.
Yes, you will, next week, as a matter of fact.
For myself, I am playing some older, crappy racers, getting some reviews out of the way. So I just reviewed Ski-Doo Snowmobile Challenge, the Ultimate Trophy game.
Sam was doing an amazing dance. I wish we could have gotten that on film.
Yeah, that game was all right, but not all that great. And then next, hopefully I'll start right after this podcast is on. I'm going to start playing SBK Superbike.
Ooh. You just got the winners in a row.
Yeah, I got the winners right there. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But so there we go. That's what we was playing. We have an editor beatdown happening anytime soon with GDC next week.
I'm drowning in work. I'm not playing anything any fun.
That's not any good. Do we have a special segment for this week?
No.
No special segment?
We're too busy for special segments.
No special segments.
I see, Ryan, you have a printout. Looks like it's from Beast.
I do. It is from the Beast, 76. He says that our PS3 community winner in a game of Killzone 2 is iPone Fools.
Thanks as always.
That was Beast's
That's
real
Beast's
voice.
real
Is that last part?
Hey, everybody.
Thank you, Beast, and congratulations to iPone, PWN, of course, Fools.
You know what I want to do? Actually, we'll throw around this idea. Maybe we'll think about it. I think it would actually be pretty cool for episode 100, which is in 16 episodes from
Coming
now.
up.
Exciting!
It's going to be very cool. I think what would be kind of neat is we have guys that write in all the time, like Beast sends in the tournament winner, stuff like that. It'd be kind of cool to get audio snippets that we then include from the thing. So Beast does his own tournament thing.
Oh my God.
Sends in an audio thing we'll throw out in the show.
Here we go.
We'll do reader mail from people's actual voices so we can hear what people sound like if they want to.
Yep.
So we'll figure out how to do this. It would be kind of cool. Maybe we'll have you send in audio files or whatever and include that in the show.
It'd be great for when Beast actually calls in. He's like,
Hi, guys.
This
is the tournament winner.
yeah.
Yeah, he'll have a modulator on, too.
So there you go. I think that pretty much brings us to the end of the show. Does anybody have anything else to add before we get out of here?
No.
No?
We're doing a lot of work around here right
Yeah.
now. So you better start freaking coming to the sites.
Yeah.
And tell your mom, too, as well.
Oh, God, back to moms.
There we go. Who's got a song for us this week?
We don't really have one, so I'm just going to freestyle.
You're going to freestyle?
Yep.
Who's going to give you a beat?
Oh, I was going to do a beat and do the
Oh, I want to hear this then. All right. Ryan, lead us out then.
Beyond.
I was surprised that you were still doing your thing. I thought you didn't want to sing.
Beat, hit him up.
We love beyond a lot. We love beyond a lot. Jeff is giving me a weird look because he pees his pants.
You are a retard.
You're telling me to stop.
Confirmed.
I had it on mute.
Point confirmed.
Make sure nothing happened to my gold.